I'm going to get up and close the door.
All righty. Hello, everybody. We're 1 minute late because we were having a little bit of technical glitches, but we figured it out, and we're all good to go now. Everybody can hear everybody, which wasn't happening 5 minutes ago. So
No.
We're good to go. Welcome, welcome. I want to introduce you to our special guest, Heidi Smith, no relation. We met when we were both doing networking events for our businesses, for our two different businesses. And since then, oh my gosh, she's been over to my house and playing with my baby goats when they were baby goats, which was 7 years ago. No, it'll be 8 years ago. It's 8 years ago on the 31st. It's been 8 years. Anyhow, and she's been out here since then, of course. But Heidi is an amazing, amazing person, as is her sister. They could tell you their story. You'd be fascinated just by their life stories. But today we're going to talk about, she is actually the one who was organizing, staging, and doing everything other than me handing her the clothing to get the clothing, DeForest Kelley's clothing up on eBay for auction. And that will be this coming Monday. The first items will be coming up this Monday. And what I want to do is I want to give you the link. You want to go in through DeForestKelleyCollection.com. That will take you to a kind of a landing page. If you go straight to eBay, be sure and put in quotes, DeForest Kelley Collection. Otherwise, you're going to get everybody in the world stuff. It has to be in quotes, DeForest Kelley Collection. And that's what you need to know about that. There's more about a longer article about the auction at this link. Red shirts always die, about the DeForest Kelley clothing auction. It's for those of you who are just listening and not seeing, the link is http://alturl.com/small q/9g. Okay, so that's where you're going to go to get more about. And if you want to go straight to the auction, what time is it going to start? Is it 10 o'clock, Heidi?
I believe so, but let's talk about the current auction that is still live.
Okay.
Because there's more than clothes from Dee on there.
You can go ahead to this place, to this one. Where am I at? Right here. DeForestKelleyCollection.com right now, and see other things that are not clothing related. This auction has been underway for about what, 4? Yes, for about 4 weeks, I'm guessing.
Actually, I think we started it about 8 weeks ago, because it's like every other week that we've been putting stuff on.
Okay.
So I'm actually bought one of the items from the auction that's currently available.
Uh-huh.
And this is the box that it will be shipped in.
Okay.
And when the person opens the box, one of the things that they're going to see, I'm going to back up here.
Okay.
What the items are they're, what would you call them, Kris? Action figures.
Yes. Well, there are plates, there are mugs, there are action figures. Yes, there are various things.
Yeah. One of the things I have here is, I think it's one of your favorite action figures, actually. And when Kris and I collaborated on this, we made a decision that in order for people to trust the item that they're getting, is that we created a certificate of provenance, meaning that, yes, Kris has these items and I now have possession of them, getting them ready to pass on to their next owner. But Kris actually got these items from Dee himself. Is that correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. So to keep that provenance going and in assuring the purchaser that they actually have something that Dee once owned, we created a certificate of provenance. The certificate, this is the one that's on the web, and it's a black and white copy, and some of it is blanked out because we don't want any of these counterfeited. The item that I have in front of me This is the certificate that Kris signed, and I'm not going to leave it up there very much, but I'm going to read a little. It says, Certificate of Provenance, I, Christine M. Smith, author of DeForest Kelley Up Close and Personal, etc., certify that the products identified as, and this one is the 1999 Star Trek collectible figure, classic edition, Dr. McCoy. It's a Playmates brand. It has the assortment number and the stock number on the certificate. And it says, we were received by me from DeForest and Carolyn Kelly during a visit with them, either in their home or mine. And then Kris has signed it, and it was dated October of 22nd, so 2022. So the auctions have been live since October of 2022.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, this is a Mylar sheet that once the item is sold, we actually will laminate the certificate so that once the certificate arrives on site with the item, it cannot be altered in any way.
Very
so
good. Her husband is a security expert, so that's why we're doing all of this.
Yeah. Jim was a 5th Special Forces military intelligence. He was an actual Green Beret in Vietnam. And so he has all these security concerns. And he's the one that's the computer techie that actually puts the stuff on site. I do the hard work. I do the grunt work, you might say. Yeah. So this is the item, and hopefully I'm going to try.
Looks beautiful. Great.
And it's an odd-shaped box.
Uh-huh.
And this one, I believe, is currently available at a starting bid of $75, which is unheard of, to get an item that was owned by a celebrity, of the quality of D. And so that's currently available. And I think the auction closes on Monday. And as soon as that closes, the clothing then will go up.
Okay. Will there be things in addition to clothing for people who still are looking for the other items?
Yes, and we will continue as long as we have items that are from the collection. We will continue posting those about every other week up on the site until either you say enough or we've sold out.
Okay.
Yeah. So now to start with some of the clothing. I think I've seen pictures of Dee wearing this particular shirt, and I've got the number, and this is a very fine, I don't know, it's a bright orangey red.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to tell your audience about Dee wearing this?
I saw him at a couple of conventions, especially the Los Angeles convention. I have a picture of that shirt, but I don't have a picture of him in it here. I'll tell you what you can do, though, on a lot of these. You can just go to Google and Google DeForest Kelley images, and you'll see a lot of these clothes. I don't have copyrights to some of the pictures I have of him in some of these clothes. So the only ones I can show are ones that I know either I took or I have the permission to show.
Okay.
We're telling something, okay?
Right.
So,
now,
I'm very short on the number of ones I can show him actually wearing. This one, for example, I can show you that because he's wearing it. There are two. I
actually have that here.
Do you? Okay.
I think
he had two shirts. One had those cowboy snaps on it. Okay. This one, that one, is actually the blue and yellow version of the blue and pink one you see now.
Okay, so the blue and pink one will come up later, but this is one that will be going live on Monday.
Okay, so it's the other one he chose the day he chose that one because he liked both of that style. Are you going to show some more of his clothing? Because if you don't,
I've got about 4 more.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the most amazing thing is that as I take them out of their bags here, that I've put them in to keep them separate, is the scent, is the aroma, you might say.
When Hannah was here, she got an opportunity to,
It is quite amazing. It's either his soap or I don't know if he wore cologne or something.
Cologne.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this one, if you want to talk about this one, this is the, Kris had a little note on here, and I love that. When I got the clothes, each piece had a little note so that it helped me to put the description up. This one says Star Trek 4 The Voyage Home sweatshirt, small with Thunderbird pin on it.
That's one of his shirts that he had, and the Thunderbird pin, although he never spoke of it, he was a real Native American advocate and buff, and his flyaway and a lot of the gun handling he did was taught to him by a Native American guy named Rod Redwing. And so he had a number of Indian motif things. One was a Roadrunner, which I don't know what happened to. I hope his nephews got it, that a Native American gave him because they were doing a scene and these Indians were supposed to track him down and drop him. And the director says, give him a chase, D, really go. Don't let him catch you. And D, the guy called, action, and D took off like a jackrabbit, and they had a heck of a time bringing him down. And they were really amazed at that, because these were truly Native American people living the Native American life who were also actors. And so the next day he came to the set, and one of the Indians had given him a Roadrunner pin because he said, I never saw a white man run like you did. So he wore that thing to conventions like crazy. So wow. Even though I don't know the story behind that particular pin, I do know it was probably, among his favorites because it was Native American related, and he was a big advocate.
That's fantastic. Okay, so this shirt now is an American Perry Ellis one, and I've seen pictures of him in this one.
Does that have buttons or snaps on it?
This one snaps.
Okay, then that's the one that's in this picture. Right here.
Ah, perfect.
Because you have another one that's buttons, and I'm not sure. I can't, prove he wore it to a convention, but I know he wore this one to a convention because I saw him in them so many times. Yeah.
Okay, so that's something that I'm going to message Jim about to make sure that we mention that this is the one with the snaps.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that's important to include.
The cowboy snaps. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
And then now it's my understanding that he had, although I can't remember seeing him in any, quite a Western movie history.
Howdy. Yes, he did.
Okay. So this particular vest is a beautiful leather vest.
He did not wear that in any movies. We actually got that for him for a special occasion, and he loved it. He said it was the only one he'd seen in years that had a tie in the back so that he could cinch it to his size. And he did wear it. I have pictures of him in it, but again, I don't own the copyright to it.
This does not have a cinch in the back. This is all leather.
Was it inside? Is there one?
No, I just took a look, and there is no.
Okay.
Yeah, this one, and what it is I don't know if you can see, but that is actual cowhide with the hair.
Uh-huh.
And it's beautifully done. It was made in Mexico. It's fine leather since 1965. And I tried looking that up. I've looked up all the logos and everything else. And there is no specific information, but it is beautifully made.
Yes.
And feels wonderful, buttery soft.
Yeah. And it's what size?
It's a small.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why he mentioned he didn't have to cinch it. It was small enough that he didn't have to cinch it. Maybe.
Maybe that's what it was.
That's probably maybe what he said.
Okay. And then his iconic stripes.
Now, I got to tell you, there are two of those. One of them is signed. That one is not.
Correct.
That one is going to go up last if it goes up at all. I cherish it.
Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, that was one of his. Huh? What?
Not crazy. It's not crazy.
I know.
This one is a Hugo Boss shirt.
Uh-huh.
Wonderfully made, great quality. But obviously his iconic look in his striped shirts, just amazing.
Yeah, we did skits about how handsome he was in those striped shirts. So that's got his own kind of story in it. The one he signed for me is in my front room right now.
And then finally, he is someone that loved his sweaters.
Yes.
We've got quite a collection of sweaters. And this one is well worn. And I think, Kris, you said it has little tiny holes on it, but I haven't been able to find it. But this is a fantastic sweater.
I do have
It's
a picture.
100% cotton.
I have a picture of him in that. There you go.
There we are. So that gives you an idea of some of the items that are going to be, that's it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And it's a navy and almost a sand cement color with the off-white cream.
And here's another one that will go up at some point. That's kind of Native American-y.
Yes, and that's going to be in the following auction in a couple of weeks. So after the first one closes, the first clothing auction closes.
And then here are a few more.
Yes, that one's going to be up.
There's the
blue and yellow.
The blue and yellow one, and there's that. Is that the one I showed you? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one with the snaps.
Okay. So there we go.
Yeah. Now.
Oh, are there any questions? Let me go to comments here.
Oh, yes.
And see what welcome everybody. We're having so much fun. Okay. Hi, Kris. Hi, Heidi. Wait a minute. And Hannah, hope you're all well. This is Janet Hicks in UK.
Hey, Janet.
John, our socks in Atlanta says hello.
Hi, John.
He also says I'm a doctor, not a clothing expert. This is Tina in Russia.
Hi, Tina.
Hey.
Hey.
Jano in, oh my gosh, in the Midwest, Illinois. Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Charlie, you need to get down, baby girl. Jenna Wick says, Kris, that's very interesting. Read D's personal clothing. I have wondered what happened to his Star Trek costumes, such as his blue doctor tunic and long sleeve uniform. I hope it exists somewhere. That would be great. I think some museums have those because I went to Star Trek experience not that long ago, and some of his clothing was there from that.
That makes sense.
Smitty, Jim, Heidi's husband, just came in. One currently item listed, just sold. Okay.
Oh, which one?
Yeah, let us know. One of my favorite Star Trek movies. Which one were we talking about? Minocqua, Wisconsin. Yes, on Squirrel Lake. Oh, well, that makes total sense. All right. Okay, so Heidi. Heidi also is the co-owner of a small business called Christmas Revisited. And can people order these things online from your Facebook page?
At this point, we don't have a catalog of the items. However, if they do see something that is of interest, we're not posting prices. They can always message me.
Okay.
We have some items that we're reluctant to ship because we feel that they're just too fragile to be trusted to the mailing system or delivery systems. We are in the Pacific Northwest and the Tacoma, Seattle area, so pickup in the area is something that's always available.
Okay, what's your email address for people who might see something that they want?
It's Heidi, HEIDI .Q like in Queen, and QAN, and it's a play on words, Heidi Can.
Oh, okay.
That's where that starts at gmail.com. So it's heidi.qan@gmail.com.
All righty.
Yeah. So they can message me anytime. Now, I'm going to take a moment and walk downstairs and to the dining room, where this is the time of year when we take everything that's been left over and didn't sell for the Christmas season, and we go through each and every item to determine whether we want to keep it for the new coming season, or whether we're going to change it up a bit, which makes it a new item, or whether we scavenge parts to put into something else, or whether we donate it to some charity. And we've done that too before.
Heidi does upcycling, which is taking items that people have basically disposed of and making wait till you see absolutely beautiful things out of them.
Okay, so I'm going to take a walk. So if you want to blank me, or how do I do this until I...
Oh, you can just go.
Okay, all right. I'm going to remove the phone out of its holder, so give me a second here.
Okay, that way you can take it with us and show us down there if you want.
Yes.
Okay, and Hannah and I will do joyrides. Do you have a joyride you can share with us while Heidi's on her way?
Do you want to go first?
Let me think. I really don't have anything that's really right in the middle of my mind right now about anything that happened this week that was particularly joyous. Except all of what's happening right now. We got three new special guests for Evernew coming up, which I got all 3 this week. That's a joyride. Yeah.
Oh, talking about which, I have a guest for you that I finally convinced to appear, and that is going to be Cameron Mayer Wallin, and she was the Northwest Trek Foundation director, and she is the one that wrote the book on Northwest Trek, the history.
Mm-hmm.
And with the blessings of
the Hilliers.
The Hilliers, absolutely. Right. And they totally loved her.
The Hilliers donated 600 acres for this Northwest Trek Wildlife Park, which I have showed you pictures of before, and Hannah and I visited while she was out here. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. The animals are all out basically free in huge pastures. Not all of them, but the ones that are in the small wetlands habitats have ample enclosures that, give them a quality of life. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and it's the only existing history book of the facility, and she's the one that authored it, and she's finally agreed, based on my coming on here today, to be a guest of yours.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So we'll schedule something with her.
Yes.
Very soon, like maybe four Evernews out.
Well, I told her that it would be important for your guests to find out about Northwest Trek and some of the history before the birthing season, which is around Mother's Day.
Right.
Because then they can go out and visit the site and see if they're lucky enough, actual birthing in the area.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes, the calves drop right there in the fields,
It'll be before then.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so here I'm going to show you what the staging area of our finished products look like.
Okay.
And the table is literally full.
Okay.
So here we go.
Wow. And those are the ones that didn't sell that you may repurpose, you may sell again or do something else with them.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
This one I think that you can see is this little teddy bear, soldier teddy bear. Mary actually made the trees, the camo trees that are behind it.
Oh, wow.
Simply because we are a huge military area here. This is a snowman's hat. And
Kris is going to love this. I hope she's watching.
Oh, yeah.
I hope she's watching. Okay.
We've got a few fall pieces here. Literally a little truck.
Mm-hmm.
And like the ceramic dog that's in here, this is a great point in terms of upcycling. This little looks like a black lab, an aged black lab.
I'm not seeing it, Heidi. You're going to have to lower it down a little bit. There we go.
Okay.
Or pick it up so we can see. Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's right here.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm going to walk around the table. We do all kinds of things. Can you see the sailor teddy bear?
Yes.
Okay. And a lot of things have lights on them, and we've taken the batteries out.
Okay.
Now, this is one that,
The one I had up on the site to show.
right.
Just amazing.
And this is a prime example of upcycling because this is a really old pair of skates. And I added the fur across the top,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and this is a really old repaired sled that someone tried to repair. And it's not functional as a sled anymore, but great as a decorative door greeter piece.
Step away from that so they can see it all together in one piece. It's just absolutely. Oh, actually, I think I have it.
Yes, I think you have a picture of it.
Yeah, I do have a picture of it. Because she stages these things all too beautifully with pictures so that they all stand out. Yeah.
And then for the first time, no one has ever seen these little jewels. Mary just finished these within the last week or so. And look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Cute little gnome.
Oh, you know what? You need to. I'm looking at a mailbox. Hold it right in front of the camera.
Oh, I see. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch cameras and turn it on to the other.
Uh-oh, we lost her.
Oh.
I guess she'll be back. Did you enjoy it in the meanwhile?
I guess in the meantime, Abby and I went to a little place called Pittman yesterday. It's a bunch of restaurants, really cute shops, you know, all on one street. We had a really good time. It's just a really cute place, and I enjoy going. They have this ice cream place there that's incredible called Alara's. They homemade their own ice cream, and they have all these like flavors that you've never heard of. They even turn different cereal. They even turn different cereal brands into ice cream.
Very cool. Yeah. Okay, I've got Heidi back. Let's take a look. Hello.
Hello. I'm not sure how to switch the camera around, so I'm going to hold this up in my hand.
Okay.
But we found a whole bunch of, where's that camera? There we go.
Good.
These little miniature wood gnomes, and we had all these little sports helmets. So this one is a cardinal, obviously. And there's a New York Giant one. And so these are just ornaments to hang on a tree.
That's great.
And then Mary does a lot with Scrabble ornaments. There is wine. And our newest, let's see, where'd those go? Here they are. We were at a garage sale this past summer, and someone had 2 big boxes of spent shotgun shells.
Oh.
This one's in camo with a little deer on it, so that's an ornament, and it's a spent shotgun shell, and they come in camo or the buffalo plaid, either the red or the green. So those are ornaments that we offer. And then a while ago, Mary had decided that she wanted to get into a little bit of woodworking and made these lath snowmen. And then for our people that really like a lot of bling, there's a diva. And we just have a blast. I'm trying to, here's one that I had done, and I like playing with odd objects. This one is
there you go. Angel. A snowman angel.
Yes, salt and pepper shaker.
Oh.
Let me see if I can hold it better.
Isn't it fun trying to hold things in front of a camera?
It's hilarious.
Yeah, that's adorable.
But and the nose was a toothpick at one point.
Did you want to take us up into the actual workroom?
Okay, I'm going to
Go for a
see if
walk.
I can do that and see if we can maintain the signal.
Okay.
And Elf Central is an amazing production area. Hopefully we can stay. Okay, I'm going to turn a light on here.
It's a two-car converted garage. Converted.
Okay.
Into
So
Elf.
behind me is our workspace.
Wow.
And I'm on this side with 2 6-foot tables back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And some of our tools, our glues, our paints, our brushes. And this here unit, let me see if I can come back a little bit. This used to be at a Blockbuster, and it held candy.
Uh-huh.
And now, if I can get back far enough, it's all of our floral, not all of it, but a major portion of our floral.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then Mary is a super organized person.
Uh-huh.
All the little tiny knick-knacky things in these cases.
Uh-huh. Very cool.
You know, you get sequins and laces, buttons. I'm trying back up and here we go. And another light. Okay, so that's an aisle that has a ton of stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
Bells and trees, lanterns, trays of stuff that we can, these are garlands, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
that we've picked up.
And so you go to garage sales, you go to Michael's, you go to wherever, just how do you source all
Estate sales, thrift stores, and now, because we've been doing this for 12 years, people actually give us things, gift us with items. Let's see, can you see the candlesticks up above?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and this here that you're seeing, that whole tower is nothing but Christmas lights.
Wow.
You know, and we like going to particularly Walmart. We found that they have the best selection. This one, I'm going to put it back in here so that I can show you. It has the 2-pack batteries, which is what we prefer in our goods. The 3-packs are a little more cumbersome, but these are all different lights, different types of lights. And then more stuff down here. Oh, and it looks like Mary's picked up. Oh, we love clearance sales. Absolutely love clearance sales.
Yeah.
Some Star Wars stuff. These are here in this section. We've got our plastic baggies, our wax paper and stuff like that, our twines. These are wood bases that we've removed from trees that we've put into our designs.
So where do you put the items together on those 2 6-foot tables in the front there?
Right.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Mary's workstation. And there's another scavenged. I think this used to hold paper or something like that, and now holds all the stuffies that we work with.
When businesses go out of business, you go get their display racks.
Yes.
Wow.
And this, we love our tools. Dremels is a favorite. Obviously, glue guns. And the glue guns, it's limited. We do use them, but we prefer specific glues, nails and things. Oh, and here's some of the ribbon.
Wow.
And there's more ribbon there. We use a lot of ribbon.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we do, I don't know if you can see this down here, is we make things with mugs. We create, isn't that a cutie?
Yes. What does it say? Known for the holidays?
Correct. And so we will put a nice decor in there that has a gnome that matches that mug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put up your Christmas Revisited.
Ornaments. Ton of ornaments up there. So, and I'm going to go around the corner.
Okay.
And turn on another set of lights. Okay. So here, is miscellaneous little pine cones.
Okay.
And batteries. We go through a lot of batteries. Obviously pipe cleaners and some of our stuff that we like putting in mugs.
Mm-hmm.
And then this cabinet down here that I'm opening up, those are all of our signs.
Oh, okay.
Christmas wishes and gnome kisses.
Oh.
That might go in that mug that we just saw.
Uh-huh.
All
right.
And then down here, sleds, all kinds of sleds. Then this one speaks to you, Kris. Here's our critter box, one of our critter boxes.
I have a couple of her things that I just love.
And some more critters. As you can see, Mary is incredibly organized.
Yes. Well, how could you get anything done if you weren't?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we've got some snow buddies and...
Okay, Heidi, I think that's a pretty good preview.
Yeah, that gives you a flavor of what our production...
I've just put up on the screen here, Christmas Revisited is the name of her company, and it's on Facebook. So you can go there and see some of what they put together, actually staged, so you can actually see it. So yeah,
finished products. And I think I have a video up there ages ago of what Elf Central looks like. And we have one sign that I think you'll get a kick out of.
Okay.
Don't know if you can see that.
What happens with the sisters stays with the sisters. Very cool.
And with that, we're going to end.
Okay. Thank you. I know. Well, I drag her away. She goes up to Renton. I don't know how often, for a week at a time.
Once a month for 7 to 10 days.
Yes. And she took an hour out of her time to, log in early and come here. So I know she has to get back to work. Thank you. And thank Mary for turning you loose for this amount of time.
Oh, you are so very, very welcome. Thank you. And nice meeting you, Hannah.
Nice meeting you too, Heidi.
And I'll be in touch with Cammie on the Northwest Trek thing.
Yes.
Soon. Okay.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That was familiar. You have a lot. Your mom does a lot of creative work. Does she have a lot of those glue guns and all that stuff going on?
She has, I think, one glue gun that's just survived.
Yes.
So
the only one that survived. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back.
No, I mean it never broke, and she never, need to get another.
All right.
So.
Very cool. Well, that T-shirt right there is one that your mom made for you.
Yeah, a few friends and I went on a trip to the beach last year for the weekend, and it's I don't know how easy it can be read, but it says, "Girls trip cheaper than therapy."
Yes. Decoration Duo, right, is the name of her Facebook page?
Yes.
I am going to put that up too. Except that I spelled it funny. I better try that again. I'm doing that a lot recently. I think I've become dyslexic. So there you go. Let's back to the comments. Blue is Dee's best color. Of course, it matches blue eyes. Absolutely. Doc and Connie, the founders of Northwest Trek, were awesome people. It was an honor to know them. My dad knew them. I never met them, but they were the Doc and Connie Hillier, who donated that acreage. Yeah, they were wonderful people. I love him with a blue shirt. Okay, a lot of cool stuff. Okay, let's see. They do amazing things. Okay, I think we're talking about his wife Heidi and Mary. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been staying inside. The wind's absolutely brutal. I've heard that. I have somebody driving back from the East Coast right now to the West Coast, and I'm a little concerned that she's going to have a hard time getting here in this kind of weather. But so far, so good. All right. Well, if everybody's hanging around, I'll read a couple of more excerpts from DeForest Kelley, up close and personal. Does that sound good? Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions about the auction? If you do, pop them in here and I'll answer them at the end. Oh, I also wanted to point you to, I think I've done it already. I've told you this DeForest Kelley collection begins Monday at 10. Red shirts always die. There's an article about the DeForest Kelley clothing direction at this, which I've already shared once with you. So, okay, I will just wait now to see if we hear anything more. Yes, that sounds good. John wants a story. Okay, here we go. This is from DeForest Kelley Up Close and Personal, and it's on page 86 if anybody wants to follow along. It's called So Close and Yet So Far. The phone rang one day and I picked it up with a cheery, "Hello, this is Kris." And the voice on the other end responded with an equally cheery, "Hello, this is DeForest." I laughed, delighted, and said, "Hi, Dee." He said, "Are you fired yet?" I said, "Fired?" Then I realized he was pulling my leg and said, "Nope, not yet. Wednesday is my last day on this temp job." I was working temp at that time. He said, "Well, I have some news for you. I was at the studio today for some fittings, and as I was leaving, I ran into Martin Hornstein, the production manager for Star Trek VI. He asked me, 'Is there anything I can do for you, Dee?' And I said, 'No.' And then I got back to my car and I thought about you, and I turned back to him and I said, 'Yes, there is.' And Marty said, 'Anything.' So I said, 'I want to tell you about this girl I know.' And I told him about you. And he said, 'Gee, I wish I'd known about her 3 weeks ago. I'd have her working right now. We're pretty well staffed, but have her give me a call. And if anyone drops out or I can think of another job, I'll give her a call.' I was struck dumb. I finally managed to say, 'Gee, thanks.' He said, 'Now it's nothing at all certain.' He said he doesn't have any openings and that it's a matter of someone dropping out. But it's a start anyway. I called Mr. Hornstein and he gave me an appointment to meet with him the following week. I quickly mailed off my resume and a few letters of recommendation, along with a brief cover letter stating, 'I'm the racehorse DeForest Kelley is backing.' I thought that was kind of cute, and who knew, perhaps Mr. Hornstein was a racetrack aficionado. I decided it couldn't hurt to be a little avant-garde. On the day of the appointment, I walked into Mr. Hornstein's office, and he greeted me warmly with, 'Well, you must be Kris Smith, the racehorse D. Kelley is backing.' I smiled, acknowledging that he had received my resume package. He pointed to a memo on his bulletin board. 'As you can see, I have already issued a memo stating if there are any dropouts in the production, I want to be notified. That way, if there's anything you're qualified to do, you will get it.' There was no way to respond to that verbally. I looked at the floor and said, 'Gee, I feel overwhelmed by all this. Thank you.' He said, 'If I had known about you a month ago, you'd be here now. I don't even have a spot for you on camera in a scene.' I just about dropped dead. We like to do that with good fans of the show to show our appreciation. I shook my head and said, 'That's okay. Just knowing I'm under consideration to work with you is fantastic.' He didn't say anything more, and I realized he was busy. So I excused myself and floated out of there. It didn't even matter that I hadn't landed a job. I just landed something far greater, a sense of adequacy, of belonging, of validation. It seemed I was in a strikeout pattern with all things Trek. I had to call and let the Kellys know about it. They were supportive and said that things usually happen for the best and that perhaps something better was coming along, and that's why this hadn't panned out. I hope they were right. Okay, and now I'm going to read the very next thing that comes up in the book. I do not believe I have done it before. It's real short. The visit to the set of Star Trek VI. Do you remember me ever talking about this before in the last year, Hannah? I don't think I have. I know you've read the book about 3 times, though. You're on mute.
Sorry. I do that when I can hear Megan being loud and I don't want the mic picking up on her. So,
okay.
I think we did once. I don't know. But I'm going to jump off and then get back on because you're still like freezing and I'm audio, so I'm thinking it's on my end.
Oh, okay.
So,
is anybody else getting frozen? Is anybody else getting frozen? Am I freezing up to anybody else? Okay, visit to the set of Star Trek VI. Sue, Kat, and I drove to Paramount to watch a bit of Star Trek VI being filmed. I was a little anxious as Dee had told me that the drive-on and the stage passes were listed under my name, so you're responsible for the behavior of your party. I mock panicked and asked him, even Kat? He said, even Kat. We got onto the Paramount lot and eventually made our way to one of the stages where Trek VI was filming. Ralph Winter's secretary had told us it was a stage where Dee would be working next. He said we should plan to stay no longer than about 40 minutes. I nodded my agreement and over we went and entered. Jimmy Doohan, Scotty, and Walter Koenig, Chekhov, were standing around shooting the breeze. Dee was nowhere to be found at the moment, so we struck up a conversation with the other actors, exchanging jokes and other comments. After a short time, Shatner and Nimoy entered the soundstage, but passed us by and went to a corner where they could run their lines. Still no Dee. So Doohan and Koenig and we continued to chat. After about 50 minutes, 10 minutes beyond the time we were supposed to stay, Dee ambled onto the soundstage. He was dressed in a Starfleet uniform that was draped with deer hide, and his feet were covered in animal skins as well. His blue eyes shone so brilliantly, even from 30 feet away, and he looked so handsome that I caught myself nearly gasping. I had never seen him in person as McCoy before, and it almost took my breath away. At the time, I was sitting in Dee's director's chair, and before he could come over and claim it, I asked Jimmy Doohan to act like you've known me for decades. Taking up this little improvisation, Jimmy got behind me and draped his arms and hands over the top of my shoulders, almost grabbing my breasts. I quickly vetoed his assertion regarding that much knowledge of me. He snuggled his face next to mine and looked to be crooning into my ear. Dee came around, spotted us, and perplexed asked, "Do you two know each other?" "No," I said, "we've just met." Dee said, "I see." I peeled Jimmy off me and Dee asked, "Do you want your chair?" I peeled Jimmy off me and asked Dee, "Do you want your chair back?" "No," Dee said. "I've been sitting all morning." So I stayed put for a time. Then I got up, again noticing his deerskin wrap, and accosted him. "Mr. Kelly, I guess you know what Deacon will think when I tell him Uncle Dee was dressed up in animal skins." Dee's eyes became real wide, and he said, sounding slightly panicked, "Don't tell him. I'm not responsible. It's what they gave me in wardrobe." I laughed and said, "Okay, then I won't tell him. It's our secret." Soon thereafter, the director, Nicholas Meyer, came into the soundstage and Dee introduced him to us. Dee said, "I'd like you to meet Sue Keenan, my fan club president." They shook hands. Then Dee said, "And this is Kris Smith, who's working on becoming a screenplay writer." We shook hands. Then Dee continued, "And this one," indicating Kat, "this one." He wondered how to introduce Kat, the lustful one, so after he hesitated too long, Kat blurted, "The hell with it. I'm Kat, and I do hugs, not handshakes." She enfolded Meyer in a bear hug, and since she's a tall gal and he's not a tall man, he found his face practically in her bosom. As he parted from her, he turned toward me and mumbled to no one in particular, "I have to meet a lot more of Dee's fans." Not long after that, Meyer called action to the cast, and the rest of us watched while the actors exited a turbo lift and headed down a corridor of the Enterprise, talking about assassins. Dee called later that night to ask me, "Why did you leave? The next scene was mine." I apologized and told him we didn't know what to expect. and that we had already overstayed our time limit by more than an hour. I didn't want to have the crew thinking you had fans who didn't follow instructions. He agreed that I was right in leaving, but we were both very sorry that we had missed his scene. Yeah. There we go. See, all this hit and miss, hit and miss, hit and miss. Almost in the movie, not in the movie. Almost working on the movie, not working on the movie. Almost getting to see D. Film a Scene, not getting to see D. Film a Scene. I just think that's, yeah. Mailing your resume. That's really old school. Yeah, okay, John, rub it in. That was before the internet. I mean, that's before I was ever on the internet. I'm as old as dirt. You are not frozen for me. Good. It was just you, Hannah. I'm just freezing for you. It's nerves, you know. What a bummer you missed this scene.
I'm
there
not
we
sure
go.
if I feel or not.
Okay, everybody's on the NDB Media, which is exactly where we want them to be. Any more questions, comments, insights? Tina in Russia? Hello. We love ya. I still have my very first typed resume from 1970. I probably do too somewhere. Yeah. Wow. All righty. Well, everybody, any more questions? Comments? We've been almost an hour.
Yeah.
Wow. Upcoming, gang, don't forget this auction on Monday if you're interested in getting some declos. Upcoming, our next, let me show you some pictures. Upcoming next time, we will have Jay Brower, who is a friend of mine. He works with the Bethel School District. He is like, I consider him a daredevil. He doesn't consider him a daredevil. He just living life large, you know. But he is the person responsible for these images right here, and many, many, many more that we will be showing you. He took these pictures. He's an amazing photographer. He does a lot of things. You can see there he is up on top of a plane.
What does that say? The flag?
It says,
Yes, for Bethel.
it's when there was a bond out to get more money in for Bethel School. And so he's an advocate for Bethel schools, obviously. Here's a picture he took of the summer solstice. I don't remember what year. Here's something Mount Rainier.
That's beautiful.
Sunset at Arches. Honey, we need to get down, sweetheart. Anyhow, he's just got, look at this one. I just can't get over it. Anyhow, you're going to see a lot more of this, plus stories from his time doing this, doing all of these adventures. Here's one more I'll show you. He's up there with the mountain goats on the Olympic National Forest. And then after that, on January, I'm looking at my calendar right now, January 11th, we will have Amy Hewlin back. You remember Amy Hewlin? She's been with us 4 times, and she will be back with us again to share more stories about her time on Star Trek, working on various Star Trek enterprises. And also she will, she was just named to the board of the new Nichelle Nichols Foundation.
Really?
So she'll be telling us about that. Yeah, she's on the advisory
Good
board.
for her.
Yeah, she's on the advisory board, so she'll be telling us about that too. And then obviously, it just happened live here. We will be having Cammie from formerly from Northwest Trek as one of our guests very, very shortly after Amy. So we have guests lined up like crazy, which we did not have last year.
No.
And
No.
I want to
We've
show you
got
a couple
more.
more. I want to show you a couple more things from I just found them again. I put them in the wrong place, which is why I didn't show them earlier. Here's one of the things I got from Heidi. Let me take the.
Oh, wow.
Let me take the comments. Okay. I need to take these comments away. How do I do that? Banners. There we go. Okay. Brian, back down here. Okay, so that's one of the things she made. Here's another one. I had hens at the time. Here's her
That's
at one of
cute.
her Christmas revisited shows with Lisa and me and her, set up in I believe this was at the Puyallup Fair. And this is what the kiosks look like empty before they fill them up. I mean, they are decorators, and
Oh, wow.
and here's them filled up. There's that one. There's that picture of that all set aside. And this is like a handyman's wreath. Scrooge. And Live, Love, Rescue.
Oh.
Yeah. So they have a lot of really, really cool things for you guys to take a look at. I think that's all I have, unless you want me to read another excerpt. But I think we've been on here an hour, and I think probably people have other things to do with their Saturday other than hang with us longer. We'll wait a minute and see what anybody suggests, or if there are any questions. I hope you will go to the auction and take a look there and tell other people about it. Share that link, DeForestKellyCollection.com, because that's a landing page.
I did see people online freaking out about one of the ties at the auction.
Now you're breaking up. What, they like the ties at the auction?
What?
You say they like the ties at the auction?
Yeah, there was a tie with a Chekhov screaming on it. I saw people online on some website freaking out about it.
Ah, well, a lot of people wait until the last minute to bid and then they forget, which is not good. So, and by the way, these clothing items don't have a minimum bid. That doesn't mean they're going to go for nothing, but we didn't want to limit anybody as to what. So I would, if you have a bid that you want to put on something, please put it on, relatively early so people can know what they're dealing with as far as outbidding or whatever. Some of these things, if they don't go for hardly anything, they're not going to go because they're obviously, worth something. And one thing I don't want is opportunists coming in and buying something for $50 and then selling it for 150 somewhere else. I want true fans to get these items. I don't want them to be, a middleman for, Sotheby's or something like that. I want actual fans to get things. So that's why we didn't put any kind of minimum bid. We just want people to do how much would I be willing to pay for that? To own it, hold it in my hand, breathe it in, and go from there, So there are no minimum bids. We wouldn't even know how to price anything like this. She says, this is new territory for us. We've never done anything like this before. So that's where it stands. You guys are in on the ground floor of something that will do whatever it does. So I hope you end up being the proud recipient of one of these things. Okay. Another comment. I wasn't even born yet. Rub it in, John. Okay, I will rub it in. Turned 70 in August. I'm going to turn 72 in March. I can't wait for him to talk about his pictures. Yeah, he's an amazing guy. Yeah, and Amy. Okay. Sounds like we're about finished for the day. Thank you, everybody. Please share this with other DeForest Kelly fans in your sphere, because after all, this is the kickoff of the clothing auction. So that's kind of important for a lot of D. Kelly fans to know about. Thank you, Hannah, for joining again and being my strong right arm. And
thank you for inviting me in the first place.
Well, happy anniversary. This is our anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
This is our 1-year anniversary. So we did 4 before that were like tests, but we actually officially launched in January of last year at about the same time. So we've done it for a year. I'm just kind of amazed. You guys take care. We'll see you in a couple of weeks with Jay Brower. And until then, be happy, be healthy, and look for some joy in your life and bring it back and share it with us in 2 weeks. Thank you. Hannah, can you hang in for a minute?
Yep.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.